Well, good morning, guys. I'm usually not much of one for putting up a intro on the start of the video, but I watch YouTube a lot. Some of these guys inspire me. There's probably 5 or 6 guys that I really like. Rat Rod Bob, Waylon Wire, Bad Chad, DD Speed Shop. Even though he's kind of a strange fellow, his videos are interesting to watch. But last couple days, Waylon Wire, he builds a lot of old rat rods and stuff like this, and really nice fella. And he's got a 2-post lift. A couple days ago, he put his truck up in the air to start to replace the shocks, and apparently his lift, the locks on the side fingers didn't work. He got it about halfway up and fell off the thing. Well, it really crunched the heck out of one side of the truck, bent it up pretty good. Both sides. He's got a lot of work to, if he wants to fix it. I personally know that I had a 65 Mercury Comet. I spent a couple of years on that thing getting it all right. Had it all perfect. It ran beautiful, had a blown motor in it, and had the best of everything in that car. And some uninsured, unlicensed driver on the freeway spun around and smacked me in the side. It was a unibody, bent the whole car. I couldn't fix it. I could have fixed it, but I'd already put a lot of work in it, and the car was what it was. Even though I really liked the car, it was I didn't want to put all the work back into it just to get it to where it was before it got crushed. So I feel sorry for him. He's had that car, for that old truck, for probably 20 years, and maybe he can fix it, maybe he don't want to fix it. But what I took away from that is that, you know, he's up there on a hill by himself, and he wouldn't have had to got crushed or killed or anything by that car falling on him. All he would have to do is pin his arm or pin his leg, and you could be there for 2 or 3 days before anybody ever came around, or a week. You could just die of starvation underneath the car. I mean, it'd probably be better if it just killed you outright, but the thing was that he had this lift that he'd been using for 20 years, and it's got some pins in it that lock the arm. When it goes all the way down, you can move the arms, and as soon as it comes off the ground, those pins are supposed to pop back up and lock it. Well, it wasn't oiled or whatever, and the pin stuck down and wiggled the cart, fell off the blocks, crash bang. Could have been a lot worse. I mean, it could have broke his arm, could have broke his leg, something that would cripple you. But it could have killed him too, because he was gonna, right after that, get under it and be pulling on a jack. So when those things fall, they fall so fast that you don't have time to try to jerk anything out from under there. By the time you hear the first little squeak, it's too late. So it made me very more conscious of, here I am, I'm by myself, you know, I'm married, my wife comes home every day. I probably only have about 10-12 hours before somebody found me, but I got bleeding problems. I take this blood thinner, don't breathe too good. I mean, it wouldn't take much for this old junk car here, me crawling under it with a bad jack or whatever, to squish me, hurt me where I couldn't work at all. It wouldn't take much. I don't have anything up on a big lift, but there's so many things, even cutting stuff with a cut-off tool, you know, holding it close to it. All I got to do is slip once, the thing jump a couple inches, cut deeply into my finger. You know, I'd be bleeding like a stuck pig, and it would cause me a major problem. So I guess we all understand that we're mortal. You know, I'm in my 70s, so I've learned to be extremely careful. I can't get any cuts. I've got a big bandage here on my arm. I had my arm inside the cowl of this thing and shocked myself with a welder and jerked it and just ripped off an inch of skin. But just be careful, guys. Wear you some glasses. I mean, I had an experience. I got some metal in my eye about a year ago, and that was no fun. I had to go to the doctor, and they used a little grinder and ground out the stuff, and you know, it was a wake-up call. And you know, Waylon Wire, I like the guy, never met him, but I love his videos, love his sense of humor. He could have been killed, or he could have been crippled, and that would have been the end of Waylon Wire's channel, and it would have been a terrible loss. Not just because somebody that I knew got hurt or killed, but he contributes so much to the community. These guys got 20,000 subscribers, 30,000, I don't know, lots and lots and lots of subscribers. And so there's 20,000 people there that are getting something, you know, if not every day, frequently from watching YouTube, learning how to do stuff, maybe just entertainment. Maybe they're never going to use anything that you put out there, but just take a second. You know, when you're on working on something, you want to get it done, and you know, you stick your arm in a hole someplace, and like me, stick my arm, and I know that if you don't have that welder grounded good and you're holding on to it and you touch it, you're going to get a shock. And I know that my skin comes off just like butter, you know. It was my fault. I shouldn't have put my arm in that hole up against there tight and hit it with a welder. If I would have given it a second thought, I would have known that. I'd have figured out some other way to hold it. It could have been something that it could have cut my hand off. It wasn't. But I know when you're young, you know, you don't think about that too much. But when you're old and you don't heal good, and you get hurt easy, and you're not strong anymore, and you're slower, take a second before you stick your hand in something. I know you want to get it done. I know that you don't want to wait a day for a jack stand, or it's easy. It's easy to sacrifice something in sense of safety. And I'm not saying, oh man, you know, child-proof your shop. I'm just saying that take a little bit of time when you're doing something you think is risky. Double think it. Is it really all that important to do it today? Should you go down to the thing? Yeah, you're going to have to burn some gas and go to the tool store and buy a tool. Is it worth it? What could happen here if you just push this envelope just a little bit? You could lose a finger. You could just break your hand. You could just squash yourself. Maybe the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to hurt a lot. But if you doing something and you're working on one of these cars and you got something, you're crawling under it, or you're sticking your hand up into something where it might fall, think about that twice. Don't do it. You know, go in the house, get yourself a cup of coffee. um, just be careful out there, guys. Wear your safety equipment. I'm not saying child-proof it, but protect your eyes, protect your fingers, protect your life. Uh, and you always know, usually, always, that you're doing something risky before it goes bad. Most of the time you get away with it. Most of the time you get away with it. But all it takes is once. One slip. One slip and your life is over. Uh, Too bad for you. Yeah, we all die, come back again. That's not the point. The thing is that in the meantime, your friends and the people that love you and the people that are getting stuff out of what you're doing and teaching, they lost you. It's not so much your loss as it is everybody else's loss. And all it takes is just listening to yourself. You think this is not a good idea to be holding that damn transmission on your chest and kicking on the jack with your foot because the motor might fall? Don't do it. Quit. You know, leave it alone. If your little voice tells you this is dangerous, you shouldn't be doing this, listen to yourself. Don't do it. And of course, you know, I mean, it's common sense that you check all your stuff and make sure your jack stands are good. But usually, always, you got an idea that, you know, this is probably not the best thing to do, and you can go ahead and do it anyway. 99 times out of 100, you get away with it. But it's that one time. It's that one time that can cost you a hand or arm or leg or something. I don't mean to be a ramble. I was going to put this on the intro to, you know, working on this thing some more. But I think this is important enough. We all seen our friends get hurt. But, you know, Waylon Wire, you know, I really like the guy. He's got a wonderful channel. Used to be 62 Impala. I'm just asking him, go to his channel, click the like, subscribe button, or, you know, he's a proud man, he don't want any money. Well, I'm not even thinking about sending any money, or I'm not suggesting anybody else does. But supporting his channel, you know, pass on your good intentions to him. Wish him luck. He'll get his car fixed, or he'll throw it away. I mean, but the thing is, he's still alive. He's still got all of his fingers and toes. It's funny, it was kind of, Waylon Wire, if you watch this, I loved your videos where you go, oh, my seat's on fire, oh, my rag's on fire, oh, the motor's on fire, oh, this is on fire, oh, that's on fire. And he had these little trailers in his videos, and it was pretty funny, you know. So he got an electric fuel pump stuck on in his truck, and caught fire, and he couldn't get it put out, and burned his truck up pretty good. This was just a few weeks ago, and I had to laugh. You know, I really had to laugh at that. You know, I mean, I felt sorry for the guy, but why didn't you put, oh, my whole shop is on fire? You should think about something like that. But anyway, it was kind of funny to me. Nobody said anything, but I know a lot of people were thinking, you know, yeah, oh, my whole truck's on fire. And burnt to the ground, you know. Anyway, guys, maybe you'll watch this, maybe you don't. I don't know if you see it. Please like it, subscribe, and for God's sake, be careful. Listen to your inner voice. If it's telling you don't do it, don't do it. Just take your time, These things are not important. Yeah, they're cool, this and that and the other thing, but they can't be replaced. You can't replace a hand or a finger or an eye or anything like that. You can always replace a car. You can always pour more money into it. You'll always get another job. This is just a physical universe. It does what you tell it to do. You can always change that. But unfortunately, meat bodies, they're kind of soft and squishy, and they get killed and broke up pretty easy, and they're not so easy to replace. So take care, listen to your inner voice, and be careful out there, guys. I just had to say that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Support the channel. I'm trying to get this rat rod into a street rod, and we'll press on with all my fingers and toes.